1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock, you might be wondering, should I vote for the roses or the tulips? I'm trying to make a connection to Election Day. Carol Ann is here to answer your questions about your lawns and your gardens. And if you didn't already know, Carol Ann is a master gardener. Thank you, Carol Ann, for coming in and doing this.
Oh.
Good morning. How are you?
Real good. You?
Good. Have you voted yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. No, I was over at the Ag Center at 7. I figured I'd let those who have to get to work.
Yeah.
If they had a density, and I don't have to go to work today, I can,
I'm just
vote
curious how long
afterwards.
the line is going to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So hopefully when I go, after
What's the longest you would wait in a line for a ride at Disney World? What's the longest line you would wait in?
I don't know. I've never actually been to Disney.
Oh,
so,
really?
yeah. And when I went to Universal with my daughter, her friend has some mobility issues, so is in a
So you got
wheelchair
easy.
quite a bit. Yeah. So, I mean, some of the rides that if she wasn't going to go
So
on, if she
really?
wasn't going to go on them, we only
There was
waited
no
like
reason for you to
15
go.
minutes. Well, no, we waited like 15 minutes while she waited
Well, that's
with the
awesome.
younger kids and stuff.
But I can remember when Back to the Future ride came out, my son wanted to go so bad. I think it was a 2-hour wait.
Wow.
Just for like a 3-minute ride.
Wow.
It was-
I think we waited
Or
one
10-minute
time
ride,
at
maybe.
Busch Gardens years ago. I want to say we waited about 30 minutes or better with 8, 9-year-olds.
so do you think they should have a fast pass for Election Day? Like,
Well, that's what early voting is.
that's right.
Early voting and
right.
absentee is, because I thought, well, I would do the absentee or something like that. And my husband said, no, I'm going to wait and do Election Day. And I went, you know what? I'm off. So why not? Just participate on the day.
So, and then what? Then go garden?
I have grocery shopping and laundry and some other things to do. But, probably get more stuff done out in the yard and fun stuff like that.
So let's see. My garden has lots of those vines.
Yeah.
Everything else seems to be slowed down because of the cold weather.
Right.
But these vines,
The vines
they're
are still very,
unbelievable.
very vigorous, but they're slowing down too. They're not.
Yeah?
They're not
Doesn't seem
doing
like
too
it.
much active growing right
They're
now.
everywhere.
Well, you're seeing them now because some of that summer.
Maybe that's what it is,
The
yeah.
summer weeds have slacked off. The summer and early fall blooms are less now, so you're not seeing quite as much of that. So now it's that time to get in there and start cutting and whacking.
Best
and,
defense I have for those vines is my hands.
Yeah.
Are my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just pull them out.
Just
I'm telling you.
That's
everything
that's
else is
about
just
it.
a waste of time, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. Yesterday I was cutting back some stuff and pulling stuff and getting it raked out. And one bed that was a mess is now all cleared out. You can actually see it now. And next spring it'll be nice again because it's all the overgrowth is out of there. And I just went and whacked all my gingers all the way back. That was the only way I could get in there. Was to do that.
Sometimes
So-
you have to do that, right?
Yeah, and they were going to die back anyway shortly, and I thought I may not have that time or that thought or something else might be coming up, so I'll do it. I'll do it now. I always, sometimes jump on it.
So, what else is new? Anything in the tree world? Anything in the
Nothing.
arbor world?
In the arbor world, not that I've seen. I haven't seen anything new or interesting coming out. I know there's I did bring something up, and I didn't bring the full article up that I wanted to look at. People are starting to look around for plants that, are winter bloomers. And, of course, the store that I work at has a lot of snowbirds. So they're only here during these winter months, sometimes September, October through Memorial Day, maybe even just after Easter. Some of them go back. So they're looking for things that are going to bloom now and at that time. They don't care what it's going to be in June and July, so long as it's still alive. They're wanting something to enjoy now. And of course, here recently in I would say, September, October, here into early November, the ornamental grasses, are blooming. We've got them out here in front of the Paddock Mall, the white fountain, I think that's a white fountain grass, and over on the far side, the muley grass, which gives that haze of pink, and planted in mass. They're, of course, prettier. They can cover up those utility access things, the cable pole, the telephone pole that sits up in your yard and things like that. But people are also looking for, the annuals, the pansies, petunias, snapdragons, dianthus. All of those things are winter color for us, where up north they're going, really? I mean, they wouldn't be putting those in till April or May, where for us they'd be dying back at that point or starting to look a bit shabby. So has been a little warm to me for some of the pansies. The stores are getting them. All the big box stores are going to have them. And just watch, don't overwater them, because when it gets real hot, say, what was it? It said today is going to be up in the just up in the 70s. Of course, it's 69 now. But up into the upper 70s later on today. That's not too bad, but where last week we were up in the mid-80s, that was a little warm for those. But if you're out there and you're watering them in the morning and you're watering them at night, you might overwater them and kill them. So you may actually do better to, you water them in the morning, get them started, and then see what they look like when it starts to cool back down later in the afternoon before you just automatically go out there and put water on them. You may just want to wait till morning, and I know it sounds funny to wait another few hours, but 8 hours is quite a bit. 8 to 10 hours can make a difference on overwatering them or underwatering them.
I have a question? If you have a yard and there's a part of your yard that when it rains forms a micro pond.
Okay.
And the water kind of just sits there for some reason, doesn't really drain
Right.
for whatever reason. Would you which would you elect to do?
Okay.
Would you elect to just go ahead and put in a little pond there? Or would you elect to fill it with dirt and flatten it out so it doesn't keep doing that?
Actually, I might do a third.
What's the
I'm
third
going to
idea?
select a third party.
Who's the third party?
The third party would be a rain garden.
What is
You
that?
put a rain garden or rain gardens, what they do is it acts, that area is almost acting like a filter, a natural filter area where rainwater off of your lawn, maybe off of the street even, comes into this area and sits there, and it slowly perks down through. So it's running through its filter. If you fill it in, now it's got to go somewhere else. But with a rain garden, you're putting in plants that can tolerate extended times with their
really?
roots being a little bit wet.
So would it be different flowers?
Different plants, different
Taller?
flowers.
I mean, you
No,
wouldn't
not
mow that, would
necessarily.
you?
No, you wouldn't. Well, you wouldn't mow it. You would mow it at different times, but they're planted. So when it does rain during the rainy season, they're going to thrive and be beautiful. Here, when it dries
Like
up
what?
in the
Like what's a
wintertime,
good example? I want to look them up, see what they look like.
look at rain lilies. If you just look up rain garden.
Rain, okay.
Rain garden. It gives you quite a list of plants. There's papyrus, anything that would be sort of on those edge side, where you might see some of the retention areas on some of the things that they've planted
Oh,
on
they're pretty.
the sides.
The rain lilies.
Yeah, rain lilies are neat because they'll just pop up.
And it said rain lilies, Florida, as opposed to rain lilies, Texas.
Right.
So I guess we have a different...
with a little bit different variety.
Lane. Wow, that was a fast 15 minutes.
Yeah, it
the
was.
phone line is open. If you want to call in, you can call in about anything. Maybe not election stuff, but the phone number is 622-9622. We'd love to hear from you. Carol Ann is here for a whole hour, which means we've got about 45 minutes left. We'll be right back.
weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, Election Day, partly sunny skies with a high of 78 to 82. Tuesday night will be partly cloudy with lows ranging from 59 inland to 63 along the coast. For Wednesday, partial sunshine, high 76 to 80. Heading into Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 75 to 79. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. It's time to get that new look started. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon, 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview or out on a date, your hands do a lot of talking. Manicures are a must. Hello Gorgeous is a full-service salon, so let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
We all know the story of David and Goliath. It proves the underdog can win against all the odds. I'm Walt Dartland, and I'm running to become your congressman for District 2. And I'm in an epic battle for votes, but I'm not afraid to fight for your vote. I'm a veteran who proudly served in the United States Marine Corps, and as a Marine, I will not let you down. But I need you to help me so I can fight for you in Washington. On November 8th, cast your vote for me, Walt Dartland, for Congress.
Paid for and approved by Walt Dartland, Democrat for Congress.
Hi, this is Vanessa Lane Jennings with the Jennings Law Firm, located here in beautiful Ocala. Join me every single Friday at 10:30 for Legal Lane. We'll be discussing various legal topics such as family law, criminal law, contracts, and much more. So this is your chance to call in with your legal questions and have them answered. That's every Friday, 10:30, right here, WOCA The Source.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952. All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, it's Election Day. We're not talking about the election, though, although you might elect to have a pretty garden. And Carol Ann Baldwin is here. The show is called In the Garden with Carol Ann, and we were just talking about the rain garden, and you told me about a website, raingardenalliance.org.
Right.
And this is pretty fascinating stuff, but
Right.
it doesn't show any in our area. It shows...
Well, but they're not showing any, that are, because Florida is a unique.
It shows them all over the Northeast.
Right. And, because Florida is such a unique climate, really, we are totally different than other parts of the country.
Uh-huh.
But when you look down at the plants, like if you were closer to the coast, they have a list here of salt tolerant plants that you could plant, so that if you were over there in Daytona and such like that, after that hurricane, you might be looking for some of these plants that are a little more salt tolerant than the others, because you would have had an influx within that rain from there. Plants for sunny rain gardens, plants for shady rain gardens.
The only reason it's not on the map is because nobody here has registered yet. You have to register to put your rain garden on the map.
Okay, so that's just what...
Because it shows like most of them are in Pittsburgh. That seems weird.
And it could be where this organization is actually headquartered at.
Yeah.
But it's just a nice thought for some of these. And, of course, they're saying summer phlox. Most of our phlox grow pretty well out there in the full sun. Looking at, Tupelo would be a little further north when you're looking for shrubs or trees. But there's, if you had a willow, you're looking for a place to put a willow. Willows like moisture, so that might be an area putting it on the edge of one of those. Another one might be bottle brush, because bottle brush do not like to dry out. If they dry out, their leaves get crispy and they drop them all.
Okay, so what I think I've seen, and in fact, would this not apply to the Cascades? We used to see what you call those cattail things.
Yeah.
That seems like it would be
Well, the cattails, now, they were generally in the water. They might have been a little bit up on the edges, but a lot of those are actually in the water.
in the Cascades?
But I think they were. The blue flag iris would have been on the edge, I think. But some of them will pop up and down. As the water, in a rain garden, your water's going to go away at certain times. Like right now, we've been dry. We have entered the dry season. I think the other day I felt 10 drops of rain. One evening I did hear a rain shower one night, and I said, "Oh, it's raining," and went back to sleep. Not much show from it the next morning, except that my chair out in the yard was wet. So that's how I knew
That's how you knew.
That's how I knew it had rained well. My chair was wet. But, most of the time your rain gardens are something that will be wet during the rainy seasons and then dry the rest of the year. So it's, those plants have to be able to tolerate that kind of up and down. And like the rain lilies, they pop up during the rain. They're not there any other time. And, some of the areas, if you look around, some of the retention ponds, especially some of the bigger ones that are maintained, not just the big holes in the ground with a, fence around them, but the landscaped ones, and get some ideas on those, those ways too.
And you do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Carol Ann, I got my rice seed spread over the weekend.
Okay.
First of all, I cut, like you pointed out at one point, to cut the lawn short and kind of clean it up and then spread the seed down.
Right.
And I was trying to rake that seed, and it's almost, it's a very difficult project. I didn't do it last year, which was the first year that I used ryegrass, and I was very happy with the result. Okay. But I'm watering it every day now, and it says 2 to 4 weeks before it germinates. It comes, turns into grass.
Right.
But what I liked about the ryegrass was I've got 3 dogs, and they like a certain part of the backyard, a pretty good area, and I like to keep that grass growing, the ryegrass, all winter long, because otherwise they trample down the regular grass because it's dormant, and this way it keeps growing. I cut it maybe every other week, and it works out good. And it seems that the regular grass behind the ryegrass turns out almost better than it would without it.
Yeah, and it can, so long as you keep that ryegrass maintained like you're doing. Is because every time you mow, each of those grass blades, all of that grass that goes down, falls back down into the ground, is feeding the roots. It's still a nitrogen source. It still breaks down and is feeding the lawn. People don't realize that when you mow your grass, leaving the grass clippings there is actually feeding the lawn, feeding the soil, and just benefiting the turf in the long run. The ryegrass is also going to insulate that soil when we get cold. Plus, it's shading it just a little bit while we're dry. Well, of course, right now you're needing to irrigate it until it comes up and starts growing. Once it's growing, you really don't need to irrigate much, but you're down to the one time a week anyway. If you were going to be watering the lawn, it's just going to, that's sort of benefiting that as well.
Well, once it starts growing, when should you start your first fertilization?
I wouldn't fertilize it a whole lot no matter what, because you're also fertilizing that turf underneath there, and you don't want to try to encourage that to grow. You want that to go into its dormancy. Once it's up and growing, if you wanted to throw something like Milorganite down, that wouldn't hurt anything, but ryegrass doesn't really need any fertilizer.
Oh, okay. On the package, it says to fertilize once it's about a week or 2 weeks after it starts to grow. But, like you say, I'm not going to bother with it.
Right. Well, that's just because, in our area, we're using it as a winter ground cover, as a fall ground cover, while our other grasses are in that semi-dormant stage. And you just don't want to fertilize when the grasses are gone to that into that stage, because it's not going to benefit the grass that much. encouraging that to grow, which can just give you some more problems in the long run as the season goes through. So, like I said, Milorganite, it's kind of hard to get stuff like black velvet or black cow to come through a spreader. I guess it can be done, but either of those, something like that would be probably the way I would go.
Do you know of any place that ryegrass would be all year round type of grass?
There are perennial ryegrasses, but they don't really do too well for us. They were generally you're just getting up out of Florida, up into more of the northern states.
Right. I got another real quick question. I was walking around the yard the other day, and one of my large bushes has lost most of its leaves, and I seen a beautiful nest in there, and it's just a God's creation how they do that. Do birds come back to reuse those nests, or can I just tear that out of there?
I think you can get that out of there. This time of year, I don't think they're coming back to that. A lot of the birds, they could be migrating out. They don't usually, I don't think, go to nest, and there's not much cover there, so I don't expect that they use that nest except for breeding season or the shrub. The only birds I know of that continue to come back to the same nest are like your eagles, your osprey, I think owls and things like that. Your really big birds of prey. Yeah.
Okay, I'll clean the bush out a little bit and throw it away. It's when you look at something like that, God's creation, how they can make that. It's so tightly woven, and it's a piece of art, really. A bird's nest.
And when you see some of the different materials that are in there, little bits of plastic or threads or strings that they have found on the ground and recycled into building materials is pretty interesting too.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. We'll talk to you later.
All righty. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah. That years ago, my husband said he was out it was before we were married. He was sitting out in the yard, and there was a piece of visqueen, piece of plastic on the ground, and down came a squirrel, not a bird, but a squirrel, and we figured female, grabs this piece of visqueen and starts to run up the tree with it. And, of course, she steps on it, slip, falls off the tree.
Oh, no.
The squirrels are smart, though. If anybody is, if you haven't noticed, they're smart. So the next time she stops, looks at what she's doing, she grabs that piece of plastic and she starts up the tree again at a little bit of an angle. Gets a little higher, but still steps on the plastic and falls off. Third time, undeterred, she grabs that plastic and circles the tree, never stepping on the plastic, and got that plastic up to the nest.
Very smart. Wow.
And so she probably had the only squirrel nest that was waterproof.
Yeah. And she probably knew.
And she may
that
have
it would make
known
it
that
waterproof.
would be something that would be insulating or something that would help keep water out.
Well, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
I love animal stories. I love watching the things on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
Animals are amazing.
They are amazing. And speaking of animals, I know at the end of the show, besides having our Bob Wine's gift certificate for $20 at Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery for plant material only, we have a couple of tickets to The Mousetrap by Agatha Christie, a Ocala Civic Theater production going on. So at some point we'll be
we can
doing
do that.
something with that.
Give them away. Those are like $50. $25.
$25 for adults. Full-time students are $12. And the release says, despite disturbing news of a recent local murder with a haunting history, 4 guests and their hosts at Monksville Manor are enjoying a winter weekend in the English countryside until an unexpected stranger appears and everyone is trapped by a snowstorm. With another victim is found, with the words 3 blind mice left as a clue, it becomes clear that one of the stranded 7 is a murderer. That sounds like fun.
So, we'll give that away. We have less than a minute yet before we go to the bottom of the hour break. And remember, the phone lines are open. Carolyn is here another half hour. If you want to call in and ask a question about your lawn, your garden, your mulch, your anything, the number is 622-9622. And let's see. Why don't we just give away those tickets right now?
Because
well, what we need to do is get the name and phone number.
That's right.
Because the theater will call the winner.
Okay.
So, if you want to go.
If you want to go see Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap, give us a call.
You don't have to tell us who you voted for. Just say, I voted or I am going to vote. One or the two.
There you go.
Or I refuse to vote. maybe you're can't.
Conscientious objector.
Yeah. So either way, you can win the 2 tickets and the $20 Bob Wines gift certificate if you call right now, 622-9622. You will not be on the air, but you will win the tickets. And we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Voters across America making their choices for our next president today in the battleground state of Pennsylvania.
I want to see the first woman president. I want Hillary Clinton.
While this Pennsylvania voter wants Donald Trump in the White House.
Just tired of our leaders apologizing for our country. I don't want somebody to stand up for our country and fight back.
Clinton hosted a rally that went past midnight in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Clinton delivering her first message to voters in the first few minutes of Election Day.
It's not just my name or Donald Trump's name on the ballot. It's the kind of country we want.
Clinton hoping to get young and black voters out at the polls. Trump is looking for support from conservative Democrats and women.
Fox's Monica Ricks. Hillary Clinton just cast her ballot in Chappaqua, New York. Donald Trump will vote late this morning in Manhattan. Fox News, we report, you decide.
If you really want to protect your vehicle's floor, why would you settle for anything less than the most advanced vehicle floor protection available? I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. The main goal when we design, engineer, and manufacture our floor liners is to protect your vehicle's floor, period. We realize you've made quite an investment in your vehicle, so we do everything possible to help you protect it. We don't cut corners, and we don't compromise on quality, ever. We test our custom-fit WeatherTech floor liners to ensure they hold up against anything and everything that falls on them. Dirt, sand, snow, mud, even food and drinks. And our floor liners are made right here in America, with American raw materials and, of course, American workers. So now that you know how passionate we are about protection, just imagine the detail and energy we put into every aspect of our floor liners. Learn more today about our full line of automotive accessories at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, complete protection, completely American made.
If you're hearing this message and wish to lose 50 pounds permanently, then write this phone number down. 352-633-0473. Dr. Juan Yordas in Lady Lake is offering the first 15 callers a free metabolism and body fat analysis with a comprehensive, in-depth fat burning consultation. You have nothing to lose. Please call 352-633-0473.
I'm Walt Dartland, and I'm running for Congress in District 2 because you deserve a choice to get off politics, to receive a better, affordable health care, to make sure your taxes are respected, promises to veterans to protect Florida's environment. I'm a Marine veteran, a former Deputy Attorney General and consumer advocate. I'm Walt Dartland, asking for your vote on November 8th.
Paid for and approved by Walt Dartland, Democrat for Congress.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Beethoven was extremely particular about his coffee. He insisted each cup be made with exactly 60 beans. There's a new smart pepper spray. It's called the Defender, and it not only shoots a disabling spray at an attacker, it takes a picture of them in the process. So moms-to-be and friends of moms-to-be, if you want your cheese fix, experts say stick with pasteurized cheese only.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today. Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Robin, how do you like my design?
You're designing a box?
That's not a box. It's a doghouse.
Rough draft for your rough? Sounds like you need personal service.
I do?
Yes, to print the blueprints. See Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can print blueprints, notarize permit applications, print and mail out invoices, and even provide great-looking business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Carolyn Baldwin is here. We're talking about all kinds of things off the air. But on the air, we're talking about lawns and gardens and mulch and sometimes election stuff.
Plants and trees.
Plants,
and,
yes,
and
yes,
bugs
yes.
and bees, all the
So
good stuff.
what I told you earlier was this, and I just want to share this with the audience.
Right.
So I'm having my iced tea out on my porch. It's got condensation. I pick it up to drink it, and I notice a lizard drinking the little bit of water.
Sipping out of the
So
water.
I said to the lizard, hey, there should be a puddle in the backyard that usually has water in it. And then I went back there to see, not that I took the lizard with me, but but there was no water in it. And I was surprised because usually there's some standing water in there
Right.
all the time.
Right.
And so that's why we got started talking about the
rain gardens.
The rain
and such,
gardens,
right?
yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, this time of year, now that we're not having any rain, and we haven't had any rain of any significance in a couple of weeks.
But you know what does grow in it is that that ginger thing you told me about?
Oh, that your peacock ginger or not pinecone ginger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Again,
gotta be a water-
They're enjoying that little moisture
Yeah.
environment. So
I
it's
wonder if I
something,
put cattails in there. Would they grow? That would be cool to have them.
quite possibly. Quite possibly.
Really?
They may not be there the whole year.
So I could have a mini swamp.
Yeah, in a way. And there's actually what they would do would be they would take up and filter that water as it goes down, but it also becomes a natural sort of like what we call a wildlife habitat, even if it is just
That would be
moisture
cool.
for your
I would
lizards
love
and
that.
toads and things like that.
Do you know what we have here at the Paddock Mall?
What's that?
Salamanders.
The red salamanders?
They're like beige colored.
Okay, yeah.
I promise you,
those
they're
kind of freak
salamanders.
me out.
They were on the wall out by the
Oh.
coffee machine.
Oh, wow.
I could
One
show you
got in.
I could show you the photograph. I took a photograph
Oh,
of him,
wow.
and he was not that small. Maybe 6 inches long
Wow,
or so.
he's
Yeah.
pretty good size. Yeah, the salamanders kind of freak me out. Same way with the.
But they're kinda cool looking.
What is it? The three-striped skink. Those
I
ones
don't know
kind
what
of
that is.
freak me out too. They're the black ones, and they get quite large, but they have vertical stripes from their head back on their bodies. And if they're under something and they poke their head out, they have a tendency to look like a snake. Initially.
Oh, really?
And
Really?
so those ones sort of make me jump. Unlike the little green, and little brown lizards, that those ones just kind of freak me out just a little bit.
Yeah, but I think they're cool. I don't know. So if I did this, I could have a little swamp and maybe.
Right. You have a little bit of at least a temporary little area where they can go for protection, a little bit of moisture, and because of that, different insects will come to it, which will feed them as well. But you'll find you can do little toad houses by taking taking say a broken coffee cup or a broken flower pot, and you put it on its side so it makes like a little hut. And there's
okay,
little toads that like to go in there and hide
really?
and things like that you can add, and it's just small.
Oh, here he is.
But
I
it
found
makes
him. I found the picture.
You found the
I want to
picture?
show you. Yeah.
all right.
Come on, I got a slow phone.
Yeah,
All right.
yours is one
If
of
I
those
do this-
not quite as bright phones.
Does he get bigger? Yeah. Now keep in mind that's on the wall right next to the.
Oh
the
wow!
coffee
Yeah,
area.
he's pretty good size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as I took it, he ran away.
Oh, of course.
But they
He's
have like a
bashful.
translucent skin. It's
Yeah.
almost like the light goes through it.
Through that versus
Like the what do you call it, the anoles, whatever they're
Yeah.
called. They have this very opaque skin.
Mhm. So, but interesting. Yeah, when little creatures like that get stuck inside buildings, you want to get them out because
So I
they run
have
out of moisture.
so technically I have a little swamp in my backyard.
or a little. It's a temporary. It's
And
one.
you think
it's a-
maybe there was a tree that used to be there?
I think so. That probably was cut down years ago. They may have even ground the stumps out somewhat.
Right.
And then it has just now finally, or has done it over a period of years, finally sunk down, that those roots have rotted out and the ground just went down. You could fill it in, or like I said, just using
But-
it as a natural area.
But it made me wonder, I know this is a little stretch from gardening, but it made me wonder, where does the wildlife get water from? Do they own, like in the morning when their grass has dew on it?
Mhm.
Is that their watering time? They just,
At sometimes, yeah, or that they can, unlike people, animals and insects, amphibians, and things like that get their water in different ways. Even birds, just may get, if they eat insects or if they're eating plants, they're getting moisture there. They're not near as dependent
on drinking
water as mammals are and some other things that, not, where we are.
Do manatees drink water? They're in it all the day long. Do they?
I'm sure they probably do ingest and drink some of that water, but most of the time we think of because they're air breathers.
So are there vegetables that grow right now better than other times of the year?
Oh, most certainly. It's time of year to think, your lettuce patch, I always call it the salad bowl. Get your lettuces in, your carrots and radishes and things like that kale, mustard, collard, spinach, all of those different greens, broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage, all of those different plants.
They sell a kale salad over at Chick-fil-A.
Uh-huh.
It's not cheap, though.
No?
And it's not big.
No.
It's a tiny little thing.
Little tiny, like a side salad.
Yeah, why is kale so expensive? Or is it just...
Because it's
Is it just them? I don't want them to hear me saying it because we're friends, but...
Right. I think it's just one of those, it's the catch...
Oh, it's fad. It's a fad. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's extremely healthy. It's one of the dark green leafy vegetables. So it's a very popular item right now. Maybe that's the better.
Do you know they say women have this natural psychic thing or whatever where, especially when you're pregnant, that you know what your body needs? Like when you crave a certain food?
Right. It's that there's something in that.
Do men not have that? Do I not have that ability?
It's...
Because right now, when you mention salad, it sounds really good.
Yeah, and it could be that you probably, if you think back,
Halloween candy.
You had something else, and a lot of times, if you have a very salty or very spicy meal, that later on you want something sweet to counter it, and it is your body telling you that you either overdid. I like spicy foods, and so if I don't have them for a time, I start going, I need something, and I realize, wait a minute, I haven't had anything nice and spicy in a few days.
Do you know, I was reading this,
can take care of it that way.
Beer drinkers have fewer teeth problems. Did you ever read this?
No.
Are you a beer drinker?
Yes.
How are your teeth? Pretty good,
Not
right?
Not bad. I mean, I put a lot of dental
they
work
look
in,
good.
but I hadn't been to a dentist in 25 years when I finally just spent the last year.
I should have been a beer drinker all these years. Who knew?
Yeah. I mean, I had several cavities and stuff, but
they say the beer actually works as a mouthwash. It actually kills the germs.
Because the alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Well, that would work for others, too, that drink other alcohols. Probably a little more. A lot of our listeners know I do some other things outside of gardening and stuff, and I just want to make sure I mentioned it because it is Veterans Day this Friday.
Yes.
And this Thursday, the Vietnam Veterans Traveling Tribute Wall is again coming, as I'll call it, local. It's not really. It's going to Bunnell, which is over near the East Coast, northeast of us. And it's going in on Thursday, so I will be doing that, but it will be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, that's nice.
Open for viewing for anybody who is interested. And
where is it? Where is it when it's not displayed? Where do they keep it?
Actually, its home base is down in Melbourne, down in Brevard County, and it's in its trailer. And this will be the last one for this particular traveling wall for the season. It will go in for any repair and refurbishment for until next April.
And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, hi, Carol. This is you again with a quickie. You were talking about the animals where they get their water supply and that.
Right.
About 3 weeks ago, I've got a large concrete, a cement bird bath in my backyard, and it was starting to look really terrible, turning black for the mold and all that other stuff. So I took the water out and dried it out, and I painted it. A white color, like a cement color, and filled it up with water when it was dry. I have not seen a bird in there for 3 weeks. I don't know what happened there. I sit in my sun porch here in the afternoon. I have a little glass of wine while I'm cooking supper. I sit there for an hour or so. I never see a bird or anything anymore on that bird bath. What do you think happened?
I'm not sure. I've not. I think I've heard somebody else mention something about that too at one point of painting them. I really don't know unless maybe you need to flush that water out. Maybe it has an odor. that they're picking
I
up.
do that every day when I'm watering my seeds or bushes or something. I go over there and I hose that baby right down and get that fresh water in there.
Right.
I do it almost every day.
I'm not real sure. Maybe somebody who's a little more familiar with birds will give us a call.
Yeah, maybe they don't like the color white. Maybe I should change the color or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Okay, well, hopefully you can call and give me an idea what I'm doing wrong. Maybe the birds just need to get adjusted to it for a while or something.
Could be.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
That's interesting. Yeah. This is the original Google, by the way, radio.
That is.
If you have a microphone and an audience, they'll answer the question. And it looks like somebody's actually trying to. Let me take the break that is being hinted at by the music, and we'll do that and come back with Carol Ann. If you want to be on, the number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, Election Day, partly sunny skies with a high of 78 to 82. Tuesday night will be partly cloudy with lows ranging from 59 inland to 63 along the coast. For Wednesday, partial sunshine, high 76 to 80. Heading into Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 75 to 79. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Azaleas from A to Z, that's all you need to know this week. It's azalea time, and Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens has them all, starting with his dwarf, ever-blooming red ruffle azaleas, just $3.99 each. Lots of others, including the famous aristocrat azaleas, huge in size, big in color, just $16.99 this week. And how about camellias? Bob Wines has more than ever, especially his own heirloom variety. These sun and shade-loving beauties are budded and about to bloom, and they're just $15 each when you buy 2 or more. And yes, this is your first note. Poinsettias. Bob Wines has garden poinsettias, 4.5 inch size. Take your pick, just $2.99. More closeouts and even BOGOs. So check us out at BobWinesCameliaGardens.net. Then hurry to Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. Just a mile east of Lake Beer Avenue, daily till 4, Saturdays till 2. Bob Wines, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Experience Christmas at Gaylord Palms, presented by Fujifilm Instax, November 18th through January 1st. Enjoy spectacular holiday decor, dining, and entertainment, including ice, with an all-new theme featuring a Charlie Brown Christmas, Cirque Dreams Unwrapped Stage Show, breakfast with Charlie Brown and Friends, Alpine Rush snow tubing, and much more. It's everything Christmas in one extraordinary place. Tickets and overnight packages, including priority extra cool hour admission to ice, are on sale now at Christmas@GaylordPalms.com.
Christmas time is here, and this holiday season, Gaylord Palms puts a brand new twist on a Christmas classic. It's Ice, presented by Pepsi, featuring a Charlie Brown Christmas by Charles Schulz, November 18th through January 1st. See the whole Peanuts gang carved in over 2 million pounds of colorful ice, including Snoopy's decorated doghouse, and dancing at the holiday play rehearsal. Your awe-inspiring experience concludes with the wonder of the nativity in ice. For tickets and packages, visit Christmas@GaylordPalms.com.
We all know the story of David and Goliath. It proves the underdog can win against all the odds. I'm Walt Dartland, and I'm running to become your congressman for District 2. And I'm in an epic battle for votes, but I'm not afraid to fight for your vote. I'm a veteran who proudly served in the United States Marine Corps, and as a Marine, I will not let you down. But I need you to help me so I can fight for you in Washington. On November 8th, cast your vote for me, Walt Dartland, for Congress.
Paid for and approved by Walt Dartland, Democrat for Congress.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. You know what they say, Carolyn? No. They say that nature loves a void. Have you ever heard that?
Nature loves a void?
Nature loves a void. When something goes away, something else will fill it in.
Something else can fill the void, right.
So what's going to fill the void, all these political ads, after we're done? What's going to fill them? Ads for Christmas?
It probably will be all the Christmas ads right now and things like that. So it's.
So I have a void in my backyard. It's it's not really a void though. It's just it's got water in it.
Right.
But if I take plants, like you said, I could put camellias in it.
Right. You could put a camellia there.
And that would work well, huh?
Yeah.
Just I have to remember because I made a mistake I got a camellia before.
With the one we planted.
So I didn't spread the roots.
You didn't work the roots out a little bit.
So I got to remember to do that.
Right.
But would it do away with the water though? Would that be gone?
Probably not, because you wouldn't plant it right in the middle of that.
Oh, I
you would
wouldn't?
probably put it on the edge of it, but they too like to
It's
have a
only
little
about
more
this-
moist.
You wanna know how
well, you
big it
said
is?
about the size of a small kiddie
Yeah,
pool.
yeah.
So it's 4 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe
If that.
across to 3.5 feet across or something.
Yeah.
But or just we ought to try to find you some rain lilies or something like that. Is it in the shade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say most of that stuff over there is shaded.
Yeah.
Find you something.
Kind of a cool area. I
Yeah.
often thought I should just put a chair there.
Or just put a chair.
But then there'd
just
be
a place
mosquitoes
to,
and crap,
Well, that's why you got to make sure you do something to absorb the water, or use mosquito dunks, or make sure it's cleared out. I'll have to try to come by and tell you which way to go on that one.
In answer to Hugh's question about the color of the bird bath,
Right.
I did a real quick search. Didn't you know that there's a green that Disney uses called Go Away Green?
Okay.
The whole idea of Go Away Green is that the birds don't land on it, and isn't that weird?
That's interesting.
So maybe there is something to the whole color
To the
thing.
color thing that it might be.
You would think that they would land on green. That's the color of trees.
Right, but I guess it's the shade of green.
This is like a washed out looking green, yeah.
Huh. Interesting. But yeah, because I know, and there are shades of green, and I always hate the references, and why I know this. It's one of those pieces of trivia that sticks in your head for some stupid reason, is that and I've never been to jail. So I don't know, but that they plan to preface this with, no, I've never been inside the jail. A certain shade of green that they use, and it's supposedly more calming than say a stark white or a gray or things like that. It's actually that they're found a shade of green that somehow or another.
Well, maybe it's the
does that.
contrast.
Yeah.
Maybe they are easy to be seen. Maybe predators will see them easier.
Quite possibly.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Don't know.
Or
But
this-
yeah, you would think that if he painted it white and he thought it was more of a, like a concrete white, that it would have just looked like the same fountain,
You would
right?
think.
The same bird
Yeah,
bath,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's different. Yeah.
We have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning, gang. How are y'all doing?
Real good.
Question, Larry, that low area in your yard, that's not your drain field or something, your septic caving in, is it?
No, I don't have a septic tank, so it's not that.
Okay, well, that's a good thing.
That's a good thought, though.
That is, yeah.
Sorry?
We've just said that is a good thought, though, for someone else who may suddenly or just recently noticed a low area, that would be something to think about.
Yeah, and usually your grass grows a lot greener, like Irma Bombeck famously said.
Right.
That not being the case, another thing you could do is you can make a fire pit out of it if you like to have a little bonfire in the evenings.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, if you like to sit out in the yard, yeah.
There might be some rules against that.
No, you could put like the fire rings in there, and
think?
something like that. Yeah, usually, yeah.
Okay.
Not a bonfire where you're going up to the trees, but you like to sit out around, an outside fire. That's what we did actually last night.
Did you?
And the night before.
Nice in the winter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. All right.
Just a little fire pit. I'm not sure exactly. Like I have a farm, so the laws are a little bit more relaxed as far as what I can do with fires. But
Sure.
I'm pretty sure on a private residence, it has to be less than 10 feet around, and it has to be less than 4 feet high.
Right.
Where you can burn without a permit, unless it might have changed. But
Right, and be able to prevent, sort of like do a spark arrest, right? Something I think within him being in such a residential in a park that you're looking for to make sure that the ash stays in. So it would be like a purchased fire pit thing that's got a wire lid on it in a way.
Yeah.
But those are pretty neat.
I get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at them. They sell them at Publix.
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, I was
that's
thinking
another.
more like making your own, with some pavers or some, cinder blocks or
Right.
decorative blocks or something like that. But yeah, there are more laws to it. Also, you have to be at least 200 feet from your neighbors, but
Right.
you can be only 50 feet from your own house.
Right.
So you can burn your own house down, but you can't
Can't
burn
your
your
neighbors
house.
down. That's right.
Yeah, that's funny. Well,
That's true. Well, you
All
got to be a
right.
good
Enjoy the
neighbor.
cat.
Thanks. Have a great day.
thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, but that is another thought, and of course, knowing where because I know where you're at. Probably not building your own unless it was something to where you would decoratively surround one of these manufactured like steel. What they still call them fire pits, that have small legs on them, but offers a bowl to it to where it's not right on the ground, and they usually do have a mesh type lid on them so that it is a little more safe. It's spark arresting, keeping some of the embers from fluttering out and things like that.
I think it would chase away the lizards, though. Come on, you're on there with Carol Ann.
This is Jim. I have moved to a new place, and one side of the yard is covered in sand spurs. What can we do to discourage those guys digging them up? It's too large an area to dig up.
Okay, is this in a lawn area?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of grass you have?
I think it's mostly Pensacola Bahia.
Oh, that's tough because then none of the stuff that I know of can be sprayed on the Bahia to actually knock out that. Basically what that is it's one of the sedge family, the sandspur is.
Right.
I'm not sure whether or not I've heard people say if you use lime on it, that'll do, but I've not found a chemical one that's like an over-the-counter to use in a Bahia lawn. But you know what? I'll try to look that up because I do hear it from several people, or I have, especially in the summertime, people living out in the shores and things where there's a lot more Bahia as the turf and sandspurs. I'll see whether or not I can find something out for us.
Okay. I seem to remember from way back that there was a mixture of lime and copper or something that they used a spreader to put on.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be copper because you're not going to get copper in a in a granulated form, but you would possibly get sulfur and you can get lime. So it may be that it could be that if you need sulfur, it's that your soil is a more too alkaline, and if you adjust that down, just that pH, that may help, or the other way around, that you may need lime because you're too acidic. But before I put something like that down, I would have the soil tested first and see if you're really far out of a balance for the Bahia grass.
Yeah, as far as terrain and foliage, it's kind of like a high oak hammocky area.
Right. Yeah, but that still doesn't.
Oak trees and shrubs and things like that.
Right, but that still doesn't tell you what the pH is going to be.
No, it doesn't.
Because your oak leaves and things like that, even when they fall to the ground, they really do not alter that pH that dramatically. It's just one of those. But I mean, the county extension does pH tests for about $2. They do them once a month. I need to write down the schedule for that again. But if you called over to the county extension office, they would tell you when to do, when you could bring it in. Well, you can bring it in any time, but they'll tell you when they would be testing, and you just take some samples about 6 inches down. You take a little bit out of the bottom of that hole, throw it in a bucket. Do this from several areas in the general location. Mix them all up and use about 1/4 cup, but it needs to be dry, bone dry, before they can test it, and put it in little paper bag or envelope or something to where it's not going to hold moisture. And with a $2 fee, they'll test it and email you the results or call you with the results.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. That's a good thing to know anyway in a new area of ground.
Right.
That you're not. Well,
Sure.
And the dry, no problem right now for sure.
No, that's right now. We are plenty dry. You might be a little bit moist down there and 6 inches down. So, just like I said, put it out on a paper plate, let it sit in the sun for a day or so, and that'll help to dry it out too.
Okay, what about shady areas like this house has about a 2-foot overhang all the way around?
Okay.
And there has been a planted area up under the eaves. Any suggestions about what might be good for there that would add a little color?
Right now, I would have to think really quick because I know my music's getting ready to start because we're at the top of the hour. Can I get back? If you tune in next week, I'll get you some good answers for it.
All right.
All righty.
Yeah, I'll listen regularly. I used to live in Anthony, so I'm Jim from Anthony.
All righty. Well, we'll get back on that next Tuesday.
Thanks, Caroline.
All right.
I really enjoy your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good to hear from you, by the way. Well, thank you, Carol Ann.
Thank you. Another one, another day, another Tuesday.
Enjoy your day in the line at the voting.
In the line at the voting booth. Yep.
All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Hillary Clinton joining millions of Americans voting for our next president this morning in Chappaqua, New York.
So many people are counting on the outcome of this election, what it means for our country, and I'll do the very best I can if I'm fortunate enough to win today.
Donald Trump expected to cast his ballot shortly in Manhattan.
He hit 5 states in his last day of campaigning and had this final message for voters in New Hampshire.
Do not let this opportunity slip away. Folks, it's never going to happen again.
Trump held one last rally in Michigan last night, one of the traditionally Democratic states he's trying to flip.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. The battle also on today for control of the Senate. Democrats have to pick up 5 seats to gain the majority if Trump wins. If Democrats pick up 4 seats and Clinton wins, Vice President Tim Kaine would have a potential tie-breaking vote. Fox News, we report, you decide.
If you really want to protect your vehicle's floor, why would you settle for anything less than the most advanced vehicle floor protection available? I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. The main goal when we design, engineer, and manufacture our floor liners is to protect your vehicle's floor, period. We realize you've made quite an investment in your vehicle, so we do